Hey, it's Adam Murphy, Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate here in Wisconsin, and I just finished up doing a 7-part video series on inflation, and it just starts to touch the surface. But I thought I'd give you a summary for those of you that don't want to spend the 21 minutes going through all the videos. So, inflation is more than just about the amount of money that the Fed has put out in the low interest rates. Is that a factor? Absolutely. However, here's some of the other things that dramatically affect inflation here in the United States and around the world. So right now we're dealing with huge aggregate demand versus a drop in aggregate supply, which means that the supply chains, and you've all heard about it, but around the world, right, computer chips and stuff like that, all are, that supply is low while we have greater demand. And we have greater demand because we spent less money during COVID, so there was an increase in savings from 8% here in the US to about 16%. Some of the other things that have gone on. There are, of course, the fiscal policies, right? So it's not just the Fed putting out money in low interest rates, but there was the $1,200 stimulus packages that came out. There was increases to unemployment, which generally just kept people at a break-even point. So it wasn't necessarily an increase in the amount of money, but it's something to be aware of. Corporations, corporate profits are up. There's a reason that the stock market is hitting 36,000 and higher. And that's because demand, again, is up while supply is down, which means that corporations can charge higher prices, right? Fewer products, so just simple supply and demand there. We're seeing that with vehicles. When we look at inflation numbers overall, the 5.6% or 6%, 6.8%, whatever it's been over the last few months, that includes things like used car prices. Used car prices have gone up through the roof because the chip supply is down dramatically because of COVID, which means that car manufacturers can't get new cars, so dealerships are paying more and more for used cars in order to be able to sell them. A few other things that go on. Let's see, the international stuff. I didn't even talk about this, but a decrease in imports, right? So as the supply has decreased from foreign countries, that means that their prices go up, which means that we have a decrease in imports because imported prices are higher, so that's part of inflation. Those prices are higher. The overall supply shock from COVID, wage increases as unemployment is now hit down to 4%, here in Wisconsin to 3%. Which means that wages are up. And this was going to happen right before COVID started anyway because unemployment was down underneath 4%. And so we were getting to the point where wages were going to have to start to come up because there are more jobs than we have bodies for. So that's just some of the things that are covered in that 20 minutes. I want to give you an idea of what we're talking about. And if you have questions, please ask. Throw them out here. We will do more videos answering the questions. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.